Welcome back, my fellow collectors. I've had a lot of fun, and you've enjoyed a lot of you have enjoyed my presentations on what I call the holy grail of the early United States proof coinage, those proof coins that you can find in proof 69 ultra cameo. They're extremely rare. I had up to about almost 100 examples. That 2 double row boxes of these would be 100 coins. I had almost 100 pieces, and from those presentations, I'm not cleaned out, but my inventory is at an all-time low. We still have some of those coins left. If you are interested in those coins, they are just an exceptional opportunity. But what about those coins that don't exist in 69 Ultra Cameo? There's a lot of coins from 1950 to 1964, for example, that do not even exist in 69 Ultra Cameo. But they are extremely rare in any kind of condition. And I have 2 great rarities with tremendous absolute rarity. My favorites from the Franklin series and the Kennedy series with tremendous absolute rarity. And that's the 1956 Type 1 Franklin in proof 67 and proof 68, and the 1964 accented hair Kennedy in proof 67 and 68. And those are the highest grades I have in my inventory. I had a few 6.9s that I offered a couple months back, and we're cleaned out of those. And so I do have these really stunning 6.8 specimens. Now these are really special. First of all, there are some coins that may have lower populations or lower mintages, but they are error coins. The Type 1 is not an error coin. The accented hair is not an error coin. What they are original mint designs that was changed early in the year before they had struck a significant number of these coins. And here's a chart of the total number certified by NGC in 6.7 and 6.8 that also shows the mintages of these coins. And you can see there the 56 Type 1 has an estimated mintage of about 25,000 coins, and the accented hair has an estimated mintage of only about 100,000 coins. Now, what exactly is the Type 1? Well, the Type 1 has to do with the reverse design of the eagle. From 1950 to 1955, the eagle design had very little detail. As you can see here, here's the Type 1 eagle, and there's very little definition in the neck feathers or the wing feathers or the leg feathers. And very early on in the year, in 1956, they completely redesigned the eagle. So you can see all those prominent wing feathers, all the leg feathers and the neck feathers. Also, you'll notice in the wing feathers to the left there, you'll see 4 large feathers protruding from the eagle's wing on the left side of the eagle there. But on the Type 2, there's only 3 large feathers protruding. So it's a very significant design change that they made, and the Type 2 design was used on all proof coins for the remainder of 1956 through the end of the series, 1963. But very few were struck in 1956. They might have struck them for only a couple weeks because we estimate only about 25,000 were struck. Now the accented hair, that coin was the very first proof Kennedy ever struck. President Kennedy was assassinated in late November of 1963. They rushed through some legislation to commemorate him on the $50, and they actually began striking these $50 in proof condition in January of 1964, only about 2 months after his assassination. That was a record time. And after striking about 100,000 examples, they showed one of them to Mrs. Kennedy. And she did not approve of the definition or the accents in her husband's hair, and she asked them to change it, to redesign his hair detail. They immediately stopped presses and redesigned the hair detail to her liking. And here's the difference between the accented hair and the Type 2 variety. The accented hair is most noteworthy in the prominent V-shaped strands right above Kennedy's ear. And there's some other minor changes as well, but it's those V-shaped strands you can see above his ear that are pretty much erased essentially on the non-accented hair variety. They're gone. You can see there's a big difference in the hair detail. And so The accented hair, they only struck that coin for 1 to 2 weeks. Now, one of the big issues with the accented hair is that they rushed this coin into production, and quality control took a back seat. These accented hair Kennedys, even though they only struck about 100,000 examples, are the worst quality proof Kennedys ever struck by the United States Mint. I buy any accented hair I can get. Most of them are heavily spotted. Here's what I write about it in the 4th edition of the Franklin and Kennedy Guidebook, which you will get if you get one of these sets in 6.7 or 6.8, by the way. Here's what I write. What makes the accented hair especially challenging for collectors is the fact that the general quality of this variety, when compared to the normal variety, is usually quite poor. Most accented hair Kennedy halves exhibit considerable hair lining in the fields, and milk spots are a major problem. Most of them grade between proof 62 and 64, assuming it's even gradable. So for example, I've got probably 15 or 20 rolls of accented hairs that have so many milk spots, but they'd be probably ungradable because of what they would call environmental damage. Here's some spots. This was from incomplete cleaning of the coin blank before it went into the die press. One of the processes was to wash the coin blank in a soap solution. And unfortunately, in a rush to get these coins into collectors' hands, they did not completely wash that soap solution off the coin. And as a result, that soap solution or residue that was left on the blank when it went into the die was struck into the coin when that die came down with 200 tons of pressure. Now this one looks pretty nice. It just has a couple little spots on the obverse, nothing major, but look at the reverse. So this is the problem with the accented hair. So Sasha's got a few comps of typical lower grade accented hairs. There's one, proof 63, hairline with some spots, top rated seller, $135. Here's one, this is a proof 65, $700. Here's one, environmental damage. They won't even grade it. Environmental damage, $179. Now then, I've got these sets available where you get a 1956 Type 1, proof 67. Total mintage, about 25,000, but these are 67s. One of the rarest coins in the series, in high grade. And an accented hair in proof 67. I've got the pair, both coins, not one coin, because the accented hair by itself is almost this price. Same thing with the Type 1. I've got the pair for only $895. And you get a free softcover edition, 4th edition of the Guidebook of Franklin and Kennedy half dollars, folks. This is a great preferred client special. If you can swing more than one of these, get more than one. These coins are rare in any condition, but to get this pair in proof 67, that accented hair in proof 67, extremely difficult, extremely difficult. It is the rarest Kennedy half in high grade proof condition. That's a regular mint issue. It's the key date. Now, I'm going to give you a few comps, and then I'm going to show you the sets I have, the top grade sets I have in proof 68. Here's a 6.8, $1,299, top rated seller. Here's another one, same price, $1,299. Here's one for $1,599 just for the proof 68, 1964. Here's one for $1,998, top rated seller, an NGC piece. One last one, $1,732. Type 1, really hard to get a hold of. Here's a 6.7 for $685. Here's one, genuine, not even graded, $1,995 because of the extreme absolute rarity. This is a coin that's rare in any condition. Take a look at this total census. This is every example graded by NGC. You could see the Type 1, only 2,400 graded in 6.7. The accented hair, only 6,500 coins. But then when you get to the 6.8 grades, only 1,500 of the Type 1s and 2,200 of the accented hair. These are key dates. The only rare dates are the really, really early Franklin issues that have the really low mintages, which came into box sets. So these are really tough key dates, and the accented hair is the toughest regular issue Kennedy in proof condition in the Proof Kennedy series. Now the complete set, both coins in Proof 68 with a hardcover, limited edition, $1,995 for both coins. A preferred client special. I have a limited quantity of these in 6/8. This is the highest grade that I have in my inventory at this point in time. This is a great set to put together to get an accented hair in Proof 68 and a Type 1 in 6/8. Folks, you're basically talking about coins that are flawless to the eye. Especially get an accented hair like that, borders on the impossible. These are all in my Signature Series holders. The Signature Series coins are coins that NGC has first reviewed and graded. And then they send to me for my verification. And if I think it is accurately graded, if I think it's conservatively graded, I put my signature on the label and then it's encapsulated by NGC. If, however, I think the coin is not a strong coin for the grade, I don't put my signature on it. Only coins that are exceptional for the date and grade get my signature. So it's a very exclusive legacy I wish to leave to you collectors out there. This is something, I've written a lot of books, I've given a lot of presentations on rare coins, and I figure one of the best things I could do is to use my knowledge to guarantee you the finest possible quality and eye appeal for the date and grade. And that's what the Signature Series is all about. And here you can see what I've certified so far for these coins in Signature Series. For the 56 Type 1, only 89 examples in 6/7, 87 in 6/8. For the accented hair, only 94 in 6/7, 62 in 6/8. And I've got the set for only $1,995. Get yourself more than one set. I've got approximately 30 of these sets available in 6/8 condition, the highest grade I'm able to offer. Just to give you a little bit of an appreciation of the difficulty of these coins, I mean, I can't remember the last time I bought a proof set with an accented hair in it, that when I cut it out and submitted it, that had graded 69. I haven't had that good fortune in at least 10 years. I mean, usually when you cut out an accented hair, it's going to grade something between Proof 62 and Proof 65. Proof 67 is an exceptional grade. And here I have these sets in 6/7 and 6/8. If you can get the 6/8s at only $19.95 for the set, this is a collector special from me to you. I hope you take advantage of it. Thanks for watching.